Okay, now I'm going to do a presentation of updating my DVD drive with Wine. So basically, the firmware tools can't handle all the updates, especially the ones that are for firmware, especially the ones that come in the form of a Windows executable created, I believe, probably by other vendors. So Hitachi LG made my DVD drive, and they've released an update that's, it's a Windows executable. So I'm in Linux, you can't just execute it without a compatibility layer like Wine. So I'm assuming you've seen my other demonstrations. So go into the package manager and install Wine. So you just search for the term Wine, it'll install everything you need. And then go into Wine config and set that up to run as Windows 98. In fact, I'll show how to do that. So it's WINECFG. And I have it as Windows 95. Actually, it's under the Applications tab. This is after Wine installs. Okay. Then you download the binary and you put it in your home directory, so it'll run if you type Wine. Oh yeah, the first thing to do is after you download the file from Dell, you have to extract it, and then it's going to be placed inside the .wine directory in your home folder. So let's just start from the beginning. So Wine package that downloaded was A103ZPE EXE. That starts the Dell extractor, and it says it's going to extract the file to C:\Dell drivers OTYFN. I say OK. And what that means is, and it'll error out here and it doesn't matter, is if I go to View, Show Hidden Folders, I'll be able to find my .wine directory. The .wine directory is where the drive C directory is, and Dell drivers OTYFN, and the Windows folder is where the GHA2N A103 file is. So I go back to my home directory, I paste it there, and then now I'm ready to run Wine and do the update. So it's Wine space GHA2N A103 as I have here, press enter. And if this little box is red, that means you're good. Even though it says you need administrator rights and you don't have them, even though I'm running as root, I do have them. And when I first did the update, it said that the current version was A103 and it needed to be A102, it needed to be A103. And I exited. Now before I got to that point, I had to figure out what kind of DVD drive I actually had. Because there are 5 different DVD drives that are described as available for the PowerEdge T420. Fortunately, I was able to install a utility called LSSCSI, and it told me, and then when you run it, it tells me that I have an HT, DT, ST, DVD, plus minus read write, G, God, I wish that black bar would leave, GAH2N with version A103 there at DevSRO. So I'll just go over to the Dell and drivers and downloads pages just to show Dell T420 drivers. And don't go to the FTP page, go to there. So, I don't know why the Dell web page is a little slow. SuSE Linux. And under removable storage, they have the HLDS GH4AN with version A103. Now, when I first ran LSSCI, it said A102, so that's how I knew I needed to do an update, and that was confirmed by the way the Wine package ran. And so that's why I ran the update. I said okay. It told me I needed to reboot. I ended up rebooting, and then after that, it always displayed A103. The last piece of hardware that's not updatable through the firmware tools, but through a binary executable, is the hard drive controller. Now you can find out what version of the hard drive controller you have installed by using the SMART space -A space and then the name of the device, which in this case is DevSGA, and it will tell me at the top here my firmware version is PA09. Okay, and then if I go up here to, or down here to serial ATA, because that's the kind of hard drive I have, browse around, eventually I'll figure out that PA09 applies to the SWB FWS ATA. It's not very descriptive here, piece of software. And because I have PO9 already installed, I don't need to update that. So that's done. That's pretty much it. And as far as I know, there isn't any other flashable firmware. So I'm going to finish.